Hey guys! Blake Lively's reputation is literally falling apart right now after Justin Baldoni's explosive $400 million lawsuit. And what's being revealed is absolutely mind-blowing. The evidence he just released completely contradicts everything Blake's been saying. And trust me, the text messages and emails that just leaked are absolutely shocking. Plus, we have video footage that proves Blake wasn't telling the truth about what happened on set. Between the manipulated stories, the power plays with Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds, and the way she allegedly bullied people behind the scenes, this might be the biggest celebrity lawsuits. Today we're breaking down every single detail of this massive story. The explosive 179-page lawsuit that exposes everything about Blake's behavior. Never before seen footage from the movie set that proves she wasn't telling the truth. Shocking text messages between Blake and Justin that reveal her true intentions. How Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds became her dragons to intimidate people. The real reason Blake took over the movie and pushed Justin out. Proof that completely contradicts her harassment claims with actual video evidence. Inside details about how she manipulated Sony executives. And exclusive information about what really happened during those intimate scenes. Plus, we have behind-the-scenes details from crew members who witnessed everything but were too afraid to speak up until now. This story goes way deeper than anyone realized. And the evidence we're about to show you will change every. Justin Baldoni's lawsuit against Blake Lively is seriously intense, and the evidence he's presenting changes everything we thought we knew about this situation. The 179-page document includes text messages, emails, and even video footage that completely contradicts Blake's version of events. But what's really shocking is how methodically she planned this whole thing. Let's start with Blake's original complaint to the California Civil Rights Department. She claimed Justin harassed her on set, made inappropriate comments, and whispered in her ear during scenes. She painted this picture of feeling uncomfortable and unsafe. But here's where her story falls apart. Justin has actual footage from multiple cameras showing these incidents never happened the way she described them. The lawsuit includes timestamps and multiple camera angles that tell a completely different story. The lawsuit specifically calls out how Blake manipulated situations to paint Justin in a bad light. For example, she claimed he had this emotional breakdown in her trailer that delayed production for hours. But text messages from that day show a completely different story. Not only did this breakdown never happen, but there are messages from Blake herself praising Justin's professionalism that same day. The producers and crew members all confirm this never happened, and there's even security footage showing Justin was never in her trailer during the time she claimed. What's really shocking is how Blake allegedly used her power to take control of the movie. The lawsuit includes emails showing how she pressured Sony into giving her final cut privileges, something that's practically unheard of for an actor. She even threatened not to promote the movie unless they used her version instead of Justin's, even though his cut tested better with audiences. The lawsuit includes actual test screening results showing Justin's version scored 20% higher with test audiences, but Blake still demanded they use her cut. But here's where things get really interesting. The lawsuit reveals that Blake was actually planning this takeover from the very beginning. There are emails from before production even started where she's discussing with her team how to gradually gain more control over the project. She specifically targeted certain crew members, trying to turn them against Justin, and there are text messages proving she was spreading false rumors about him to create tension on set. The way Blake used Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds in this situation is absolutely wild, and the lawsuit breaks down exactly how she weaponized these relationships. The lawsuit calls them her dragons, comparing her to Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones, and the evidence shows just how calculated this whole thing was. Multiple crew members provided statements describing how Blake would casually mention her powerful friends whenever she wanted something changed. There's this incredible story about how Blake invited Justin to her New York penthouse for what was supposed to be a simple script meeting. When he arrived, Ryan Reynolds was there and immediately started praising Blake's version of a crucial scene. Then, completely out of nowhere, Taylor Swift shows up and starts doing the same thing. But here's what makes this even more interesting. The lawsuit includes text messages between Blake and her team planning this whole ambush. She literally choreographed when Taylor should arrive to create maximum pressure on Justin. The lawsuit includes actual text messages where Blake brags about using her dragons to get what she wanted. She wrote, and I'm quoting directly, "I am the luckiest on the planet to have them as my dance moms level stage moms." But then she gets intense writing. "I guess I have to stop worrying about people liking me. Like Khaleesi, I happen to have a few dragons for better or worse." The lawsuit points out how she would frequently reference Game of Thrones when talking about using her influence, showing she was very aware. Remember when Blake claimed Justin whispered inappropriately in her ear during a scene? Well, the video footage completely exposes this lie. The footage shows Blake was actually the one constantly breaking character, talking about Ryan and making it impossible to film the scene. When Justin tried to direct her back into character, she twisted the situation completely. The lawsuit includes multiple angles of this incident, plus statements from the intimacy coordinator who was present confirming Justin's version of events. What's even more shocking is that Blake never even read the book before trying to rewrite scenes. The lawsuit includes emails from Colleen Hoover's team expressing concern about Blake's changes to the story, saying they completely missed the point of the book. There are text messages from production team members literally begging her to read "It ends with us" before making more changes, but she just kept pushing her own vision regardless of how it affected. After the strikes ended, Blake came back with this intense list of demands that basically amounted to a hostile takeover of the production. The lawsuit includes the full document, and it's absolutely wild. She demanded Final Cut privileges, approval over all marketing materials, and complete control over how her character was portrayed. But here's the really shocking part. She also demanded that certain crew members who had witnessed her behavior be removed from the production. The lawsuit reveals how Blake systematically replaced key creative personnel with people from her own circle. She started with the editors, bringing in people she knew through Ryan Reynolds who would follow her vision without question. But it didn't stop there. She also tried to replace the cinematographer, the costume designer, and even tried to get certain producers removed from the project. The lawsuit includes emails where Sony executives expressed serious concerns about these changes, but felt powerless to stop her. The situation reached its peak during the film's premiere, where Justin and his family were literally relegated to the basement. The lawsuit includes security footage showing them being escorted to a separate theater while Blake took over the main event. But what's really interesting is the email chain planning this separation. Blake's team specifically requested that Justin be kept away from any press opportunities, effectively erasing him from his own movie's premiere. The lawsuit also reveals how Blake manipulated test screening results. When Justin's cut of the film tested better with audiences, Blake allegedly threatened that Colleen Hoover wouldn't promote the film unless they used her version. The lawsuit includes text messages where Blake's team discusses how to pressure Colleen into taking their side. Even though Colleen had previously expressed concerns about Blake's changes to the story, the impact of this lawsuit is sending shockwaves through Hollywood. Major directors are speaking out about their own experiences with powerful actors trying to take over their films. The lawsuit has sparked a larger conversation about power dynamics in the industry, with many pointing out how social media influence and celebrity connections are being used to bully creative teams. The evidence Justin's presenting is seriously damaging to Blake's reputation, and industry insiders are saying this could be career-ending. Between the video footage contradicting her harassment claims, the text messages showing her manipulation tactics, and the emails revealing how she bullied her way into control, it's becoming impossible for people to believe her version of events. The lawsuit even includes statements from other actors who've worked with Blake, describing similar patterns of behavior on other projects. What's really interesting is how this connects to larger patterns in Hollywood where celebrities use their social media influence to control narratives. The lawsuit specifically details how Blake's team would strategically leak information to sympathetic press outlets, carefully crafting a narrative that painted her as the victim while hiding her own actions. There are even text messages discussing how to use Taylor Swift's fan base. To drop a comment below with your thoughts. Do you think Blake went too far trying to take control of the movie? What about using Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds as dragonses to intimidate people? And after seeing all this evidence, whose side are you on? Based on what industry insiders are saying, this lawsuit could completely change how Hollywood handles power dynamics between actors and directors forever.